I have a question for you all. Do you recall an incident where the veterans were upset with Harry and people started to hold a grudge against him and Meghan? Prince Philip passed on to Harry a really big honor and he handed on to him the prestigious post of the Commander of the Marines. The first appointment in Harry's schedule was he was supposed to attend a service of commemoration for fallen Marines. A few days before that, Harry sent his apologies. Instead of attending that, he wanted to go to a Disney premiere and he needed to get some work for his evil wife, Meghan Markle. By shirking his duties, Harry not only shamed himself but also his grandfather, for whom the Marines were an incredibly special group of people. I'm sure Prince Philip was heartbroken and disappointed that his action in giving Harry that honor was so casually tossed away. Every man or woman in the forces swears allegiance to the crown, and not a single one of the forces would ever submit to Harry ever representing them in the future. I don't think it could ever happen again. What a despicable act, performed by a man who couldn't have cared less. This action really showed who Harry is as a person, and we were not impressed. He was so disrespectful towards his grandfather, the service members, and their families, and it was all to try to get a job for Meghan, a job, by the way, that she completely messed up. That was when I realized what a pitiful loser Harry really was and still is. I remember being completely surprised by the lack of respect and the way he ignored his duty. Another thing is, I could not believe that he sold the guns his grandfather Prince Philip gave to him. I mean, he could have given them to another member of the family, he could have donated them to a museum or a charity. There were so many other options. I mean, if he didn't want them, fine. He could have easily just given them back so that Prince Philip could have given them either to Peter Phillips, Prince William, or Prince Edward so that they could take care of them. Now, honestly, I think before Meghan, Harry certainly would have held on to those guns. But now that the world is figuring out how horrible Harry has always been deep inside, and that his real behavior had been hidden away from the world, it would be normal for him to sell them. Meghan, of course, wanted to make money off of them. I don't believe Meghan has ever been close to a veteran to act with such blatant disrespect to Harry's grandfather. Until Meghan came along, Harry did his duty. He went to all the required events. The only time he would have missed anything was when he was on his tour of duty in Afghanistan. Like other people have pointed out, Harry was not one to ditch events until Meghan decided something else was a bit more attractive. Meghan never got the idea that being a royal was all about putting duty first. I mean, even the lesser royals showed up to important events on the calendar because it was what was expected of them. I mean, this was the moment that I said, there is trouble ahead. Before that, I was actually really happy for Harry. I thought he had finally found some woman to settle down with. I didn't know who Meghan was, but I figured she must be a part of the acting glitterati, people I don't really follow. I was happy, though, that a person of color was joining the royal family. I thought it was a great opportunity for Britain and the rest of the world to move forward on understanding and reconciliation. Boy, was I wrong. It turned out to be such a catastrophe. Ever since Meghan entered the scene, we have seen just one self-serving, duplicitous act after another. I still remember when I first heard about Megxit, I was a little surprised that they wanted to leave their royal positions and they didn't want to live in the UK. But at the same time, I thought, all right, they've got every right to live their own lives. Let's see what happens. Soon enough, they started in with the demands, the made up stories, the self promotion. I'm an American, and politically speaking, I consider myself to be a centrist. And I believe that Meghan Markle shows some really nasty behavior. Her values are just thinly veneered acts to promote her brand. And Harry is an absolute walking disaster. If Harry really wanted to promote Meghan, if he wanted to try to get her a job with Disney or really anybody else, he has every right to do so. But he needs to do that on his own time. To ignore paying tribute and respect to people who have sacrificed so much for freedom is completely despicable and so disrespectful, and it shows what a nasty, careless individual he really is. If I had been in his position, I would have been so honored to have the privilege to pay my respect to the people and the families who have served and sacrificed so much. Now, Disney, I think, could have waited, not the servicemen and women and their families. They deserve to be respected. I would so have appreciated that opportunity that Harry had, but he just threw it away. To have him sit beside any members of the military, especially people recovering from injuries as a result of service, and try to act like he's so compassionate, so caring, so supportive of them, what a slap in the face. Harry had the chance to show how much he really cared for them, but he didn't. He turned his back on them to try to get Meghan a job. I mean, if she's such a talented actress, why does she need Harry to do her bidding? I thought Meghan was supposed to be this strong, independent, feminist woman, but she can't even get her own work? Seriously? Harry did get Meghan that voiceover job. It was for the Elephants documentary. And she was supposed to donate all the money she made off that to charity. But did she do that? Absolutely not. She pocketed all of it, which reportedly upset some people at Disney. Harry had so many honors bestowed upon him. He was in such a privileged position. And one of those honors was representing the Marines. Harry is such a disgrace. He's such a piece of trash. He dishonored all of those people, not only the Marines, but every single serviceman or woman out there. I think he owes all of them a sincere apology. So the Disney event that Harry blew off those Marines for was the Lion King premiere. And Meghan claimed that she saw a man bathed in light who told her that people in South Africa were dancing in the streets when she and Harry got married, the same way they were celebrating when Nelson Mandela was released from prison. Honestly, that story is so insane, I don't even know what to say about it. Now, apparently it was debunked as absolute garbage when the two men who may have said it said, absolutely not, we never said that. So are we supposed to think it was an angel maybe? And as for Harry, he attended the Lion King premiere, and he really annoyed Bob Iger with his story of how Meghan was such a talented voiceover artist. It was a very strange thing to do, when at that point it seemed like she'd already done the Disney Elephant story voiceover anyway. Harry actually has a much better voice for podcasts, audiobooks, and speaking in general. Meghan's voice is obnoxious to me. It's pretty whiny. Harry skipping out on that Marine Memorial, though, just for a film premiere, I found absolutely disgusting. And that wasn't all. Harry became pretty comfortable blowing off royal duties as much as he blew off the late Queen just days before she passed. She wanted Harry to come see her one last time when she was at Balmoral. But oh, he didn't have the time. He didn't have time for her late majesty. But at the same time, he sure was in a hurry when he tried to get to her deathbed. He is such a piece of trash at this point. I don't believe I'll ever have any respect for him again. I also do believe Harry suffers from some severe mental health problems. Maybe he's a psychopath too. It has been said that Meghan brought out his true character, and I suspect that's true. Once upon a time, I thought maybe Harry was a victim of hers, but the more I see, the more I think they are operating as a team. And they are fueled by drugs and sex and sycophants. They are dangerous. See, they have no ethics. They have no moral compass. The royal family should not underestimate those two. They are a very real threat, especially now, because at this point they have nothing to lose. And you, what do you think about Harry and Meghan? Please tell me your opinion below in the comments. If you think my video is useful, don't be afraid to like and share it with anyone else who would enjoy it anytime you want. And please subscribe to our Kate Middleton and the Queen channel to support us more. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a lovely day, and I'll be back to see you in the next videos.